All right, so today we removed the seat rails. As you can see, this was the passenger side. This was the rusty one. This one was definitely harder to get apart. I still got to clean up the bottom of this. The seats themselves look like they're okay. The rails were trashed. I got new rails coming. But these bolts, some of them, if you can see, they were trashed. So I actually needed a bolt extractor. So I'm glad that I had bought those. So that was a 10 millimeter is what that was, to get over the top of that bolt and get it out. So that worked. And then I think this is a 5. Yeah. 5 Torx or a hex. To get inside of them is what it was. So the rails are off. I got new rails coming. But yeah, you can see how I had to cut all that stuff off just to get these seats out. And I was dreading taking the rails off. But what I did was I had the front bolts done. They were exposed. So I got the front bolts off. Then I took my regular hammer. And when that doesn't work, get a bigger hammer. And I just whacked the rail down to expose the rear bolts. And they came out, and those are off. So get those cleaned up. So also what I ordered, because they kind of smell, even though they've been sitting for a year outside the car in the garage and everything. What I did, we'll see if it works. I don't know. I bought a little ozone machine off of Amazon. It's just a little USB plug, just a tiny one for like a room or inside the car or whatever. So I am going to put the seat inside the box, put the ozone machine inside that, and run it. And see if we can kill some of that smell and everything. I don't know. It was like $20-30 on Amazon. It wasn't much. I'm not expecting a whole lot, but we'll try, and then we'll clean the seats up. I mean, they really need to be redone. I mean, you can see, they're brittle. I don't know. I'll try to recondition them, but I mean, they're ripped and everything, so they really actually need to be redone. And that'll be something that I will do at some point in time. It's just not right now. I want to get the car on the road is really what I want to do. And then we'll worry about recovering the seats. But we're going to try that and see if that works, and hopefully it does. So I was working on this passenger seat, and I noticed, when I got the car and when I took the seat out, that this latch, it wasn't working. It wasn't holding the seat. So I went ahead and took this off. So I took these parts off, just so you know. This goes around this, and you got to get it in those little holes, and then you twist it and you bring it, this notch you bring back up here to tighten it in. So that's where it started. So it's actually this piece, then this piece, and then this is just a cover, and you can kind of see the little hole right here. There's a few of them around. I just took a pick and picked it and popped that out. So what it was it would go up and it wouldn't go back down. I initially thought maybe the cable was snapped. So all I did was just WD-40 in there, and then I'd pull it up. I can't really do it. I'd pull it up, it would get stuck, and I'd use my screwdriver and pop it back down, and just kept working it and working it and working it, and then a little more WD-40 and working it some more. So now it works. So I'm going to probably keep doing this and just keep working it for a little bit more, put a little more WD-40 in there and just keep working it until it gets it. But I'm glad. I thought originally, maybe that was broken, but it's not. So all it was is that, and we'll get that loosened up, and that'll take care of that problem. All right, so there's the seat in the box. I'm going to seal that box up. And then, as you can see, I mean, it's just the concrete floor. I'll just turn the ozone maker on and slide it underneath and let it go for a half hour. And keep actually the garage door closed, might as well. And then we'll just open the garage door and let it vent. All right, so I have completed the ozoning. And I gotta tell you, they don't smell as bad. I'll probably do it again tomorrow after it charges back up. But this is the thing that I got. It's just a little ozone maker. So that's the box. I got it off of Amazon, 30 bucks. I think it worked pretty well, so I will definitely do that again. And then I think I'll put it in the car. Even though I don't have the back window in, maybe I'll put some cardboard or something over the back window and try to seal up the sunroof also, but just to kind of close it in and run it in there. I think that'd be awesome. So, hooray, hooray. All right, so I came out. The seats smelled a little bit. Not nearly as bad as they did before everything. Read the directions again. And it said since ozone is higher, or is denser than air, you're better having it higher. So I put a couple of the blocks here. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to crank it up to 4, which is the highest setting. Set it on the blocks. Close it up and do it again for each of them, and we'll see how that does. I mean, they don't smell horrible, not like they used to, but you know, there's still a little bit of a smell to them. So we'll do it one more time and we'll see what happens. All right, so we got my replacement rails in the mail that actually work. They slide back and forth, but they're really rusty. So we've got them sitting in some Evapo rust. We'll let them sit here for a while, maybe a day, and just let them eat away at the rust, and I'll sand them down a little bit, spray some of the rust neutralizer on them, and then, I don't know, maybe paint them. I guess I can. Might as well make them look nice, I guess. You're never really going to see them, but at least I know they'll be nice. So we'll get rid of all that rust that's in there. Like I said, at least they slide. So better than what I had. And they were 50 bucks for the set. So that was... They weren't easy to find. Luckily, Elliot had... a box in the back of his garage that he found a set in. So I appreciate that, Elliot. Another shout out to you at 944 Barn. So we'll just have to wait and see. So I've got my emergency brake, and I'm just waiting on that brake line because the other one, if you remember, had the one end cut off, so I can't use it. So he was supposed to send me another one. Hopefully it'll be here tomorrow, and we can go from there. Here's the seat rails. It's a little less than 24 hours. They Evapo rust. It's amazing what this stuff does. So there's still a little more. I'm just going to leave it in there. But like this, that coil was completely rusted. Not a bit on it. Some of the heavier stuff just might take a little bit more. What I did was I slid this the other way to try to get as much of the track as I can done. Just opened up and everything. And then just get it submersed down in there. You can see how dark the water is now compared to what it was. So it's doing its trick. It's doing its thing. And we will see how we do. Okay, so now we have the seats mostly deodorized. Now I'm going to try to clean them up. So, tried this stuff. We're going to try this first. I got some brushes and I've got my drill. I think I'm going to start with my drill because this stuff is pretty caked on and pretty dirty. So we're going to start on the back here where probably no one's going to see it all. But we'll do that and we'll see how it goes. All right, well that was with my drill. And I didn't do it full speed, just real lightly and a little bit of cleaner. And that cleaned up pretty good. So let's try it on this. So there's kind of the before. It's pretty dirty. We'll try doing a before and after on the side here. All right, there's the after. Much, much better. This is starting to dry a little bit, but I think maybe do this a couple of times is what I'll do. I'll do the whole seat and then do it again just to get it a real deep clean. But that worked pretty well. All right, it's working really, really well so far. So now we're going to try to clean up the front side of this seat. We will try to do that and see how that goes. So there's kind of the before. Okay, I just wanted to show you how dirty and nasty these seats are, right? So, perfectly clean. Look at that. Look at how nasty that is. That's why I think I'm going to clean it probably a couple of times. But, yep, that's what's coming out. Well, I now have a seat that I would actually want to sit on. Came out great. Now, I ended up having to wash it like 3 times, and I did put a little armor all on it to make it look a little bit nicer. But, I mean, it came out really, really well. And it doesn't smell. So, just a shame it's ripped. I mean, it's still pretty brittle. And there's a rip coming in here on this seam. This is down real low. My guess is that's where the foam, there's probably 2 pieces of foam maybe under there. Something, I don't know. But at least it's clean enough to sit and it works. So happy with that. And we'll start on the driver's side. So before I start on the driver's side, I just want to do a side-by-side comparison. And actually, the passenger side was worse than the driver's side. I should have done the driver's side first, but you can just see the difference that just cleaning them up makes. It looks like almost a brand new seat on the back. Driver's seat's in worse shape as far as the rips and everything go. But the majority of them are right on the seams. So I don't know. That one's not. That's got a rip right there, but it's all seam related. So I don't know if I'd be able to get that repaired or not. This one, this one's really not on the seam, is it? Oh well. But that is the side-by-side. All right, there is the driver's seat, done and cleaned up. So cleaned up better. This is definitely in worse shape. There's multiple tears here. There's a tear here. There's a rip getting ready to start here. And there's that one. So this one is definitely in worse shape. But it's a seat. It'll do for now. And we'll be good to go. Oh, so the tires, what I decided to do was just fill them with air so I can get the car on the ground and make sure that it moves before I spend, you know, $600 plus on tires for the car. One of them, the valve stem was cracked, so actually I just brought that up to Auto Tire and they put a new one in for free. They're so nice sometimes. But when we were up there, they read the codes off of them and they said the tires were from 1999. So I'm not going to really be driving on these tires. They're 21 years old. So it's just enough to hopefully hold air so I can get the car moving forward and backwards and make sure the transmission works and that the car actually moves. I have no doubt. I mean, the hubs and everything, they all spin. So, I mean, I'm not worried about that, but I just want to make sure that the transmission can hold the load and pull the car. Okay, so here are the seat rails. A little bit of rust still on them, but pretty much rust is all gone. So I'll just clean up the remaining rust. I think I'll just probably spritz them maybe with some of that rust converter. Just make sure. I'm trying to figure out how to get these pieces apart, but it looks like they bend. When they put them together, they bend these tabs up, and that locks it in place. So I don't think I'm going to be able to get those out of there. So I think I'm just going to have to deal with how they are, and a little bit of rust still on here, but not much. I mean, it's all gone. I mean, that water is there, that rust, what is it? Evaporust is all black now. But they're cleaned up. They slide. They don't slide the easiest, a couple of them. And I kind of noticed, if I can find it, see if you can see it. I don't know if it'll focus or not. But there's a ball bearing in there. I think that's what it rolls on. So, you know, put some WD-40 on them or whatever and see if that helps. But these all move nice and easy. So, and if you notice, there's no rust left on these hinges. Where there was, they were just completely rusted. So, we're good to go. So, working garage today. If you notice, garage doors are closed. It was 83 or 85 degrees 2 days ago. And today, it's going to be a high of 50. So, St. Louis for you.